Hello, how's it going, everybody? My name is Niall Brown. I am the owner and operator of Karma Photos. We are a local production company here in Long Island, New York. Today, I am here with the lovely Lily Millette. She's an actress. She's also my lady, which is awesome. Give me some. Right, so pretty much I'm just gonna do a sort of lighting breakdown for content production. um it's really simple. There are many different ways that you can light a scene. You can light scenes for content production, you can light scenes for more cinematic storytelling productions. This is going to be more of an engaging look that you see on social media. It's going to have some colors in it. It's going to have some different, split lighting, some rampant lighting. I'll show you the whole nine just so that you can get an idea of what content production might look like if you work with me, or if, you just want to try it out for yourself. I can link everything that I use in my productions down below if you want to go ahead and give it a shot to film your own content. But most of my clients are people such as realtors, dentists, mortgage brokers, mortgage lenders, loan officers, pretty much any type of service-based business, because those are the ones that mostly need content production. So let's get right into it. Right now, we are shooting on a blue backdrop. I have tons of backdrops. I probably have, I think, 10 or 11 different colors. I'm using blue today just because I thought that it's a little bit creative, it's a little bit different, and it's going to be easier when I start to blast the other colors onto it because it sort of accentuates it instead of using something like white or black, which are just going to kind of overpower the light. So we'll just get started. First things first, we want to sort of plan this out a little bit, not too much, but enough to where, we know what we're actually doing. Now, I know that my biggest light is going to need to be on this. It's a C-stand. C-stands are light stands. They could be used for other things also. They're really heavy duty. This thing is maybe like 40 pounds or so. So it's meant to have some pretty big lights on it. You usually put a sandbag on this leg right here, and then, it holds the light. It's nice and secure. These are sort of like, lighter light stands. This is technically a backdrop stand, but I use it as a light stand because it has this really wide base on it. So it's actually a little bit more convenient, or a little bit easier than an actual light stand like this one. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just sort of extend this and set this up for our biggest light, which is going to be over here. Today, I'm going to be using the small rig 450B. B stands for bicolor. So we're going to use this. Let me actually open it up for you guys on camera. B stands for bicolor, which basically means it has variable color temperature. You could adjust it. It could go anywhere from 6,500 Kelvin all the way down to 28 or 3,000. Don't quote me on that. We're gonna see when I turn it on. But just to give you reference, daylight is 5,600 Kelvin. So this can go from that really orangey kind of, yellow light that you see on street lights, all the way to like that hospital lighting. That's the best way that I could probably explain it, but it's a really cool light. 450 is the wattage, I believe, which basically tells me that it's a pretty powerful light. So we're just gonna sort of set this up. This has a really easy way of setting up. You pretty much have the actual light over here, this big thing, and then it comes with this little sort of knob, I guess you can call it, handle that you have to add on whenever you take it out the packaging. And then you pretty much stick your light onto the C-stand just like that. Now, some people are very particular about how they mount their lights and where they put it, how they put it, what side they put it on, because some people, they will go ahead and add another one of these things. It's a knuckle. They'll add another one of these things, or they'll move this end knuckle down, and then they'll put it over here. They'll do many different things. There are a bunch of different ways to add a light to a C-stand. So this is the way that I do it. It's easy enough. It's secure. I'm able to tighten it as tight as I want to. So there's that light. We're just gonna plug it up and then go from there. When going about lighting, it becomes easy when you do it a lot of times, just like anything else, right? So with Lily here, she has very fair skin. So I know that I'm not gonna wanna use very white light. I'm not gonna wanna use that hospital light because it's going to accentuate that a little bit too much. And then she might look blown out. She might look like a ghost. Disappear. Exactly, she might disappear. So we wanna use something a little bit warmer than just daylight, just so that we can add in a little bit of extra color to her skin. So we're gonna plug this bad boy in. I want to say that this is my favorite light just because it's the most powerful. All of my lights are bicolor, so I don't have any preference on that, because I just like that versatility of being able to change the light. So see, this is a perfect example. We're at 5500 Kelvin, basically daylight. Let's go to 56. You can't really tell the difference, but this is 5600 Kelvin, right? This over here, 65, very white light. Over here, it's yellow now. This is 2700 Kelvin. So we'll put it to 45 for right now. This is like a nice happy medium. This is something that I like. I like around 4000 to 45. So we'll just have that on, sort of chilling for now. Now this is a really, really bright light. And what this does, and if you don't, you know, do everything sort of thought out, it's going to be extremely hard to have your colors pop out on your backdrop if this is overpowering it, because light does overpower light. So when I put up my other lights that have color to them, I have to make sure that, one, I'm not pointing this light too directionally at the other light, and also I have to turn down the power on this. This is only at 15%. And if I put any of the other lights on 100%, this would still overpower them. So you have to keep that in mind. You know, I would have to have something such as a aperture 600C. Those are RGB lights. Those are the full color spectrum. And the 600 is very powerful. That may have a chance of overpowering this. Who knows? Because RGB lights do tend to be a little bit less powerful than bicolor or daylight balanced lights. So our next light up is going to be this bad boy, which is the Amaran 150C. As I said, this is an RGB light. It's really cool. I just got it. I was using a different RGB light, which I'm also going to use in this video, but this one is really cool. It's pretty new. I think this model came out maybe like last year or so. It's a great quality light, full RGB spectrum. You guys will see in a second. So what we're gonna do is we're going to place this light on, that side actually. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because I'm going to place this light on this side. So when the light is shining, the little bit that does hit the backdrop, it's going to be hitting this one, which is more powerful than the other one that I'm gonna bring in. So I'm gonna add this one to this side. And the reason why I'm putting this light on this side is because there's a couch over here. And it's just gonna make it a lot easier just to set everything up like this. So we're gonna have this on this stand, and then we're just gonna plug it all up. Now, if you couldn't tell already, I enjoy lighting a significant amount. I love it. I talk about it all day long to my lady. I talk about it all day long to my mother. Anytime that I get to speak about camera stuff with her, I'm like, this is like a great light. This one is quality. like the lux number, it's super bright and all that different stuff. And I just enjoy it. I enjoy watching videos on other people lighting and how they did their setups. You know, I could talk about it all day long pretty much. I also enjoy watching other like cinematographers lighting setups, because it's a lot more complicated than something like this, because you both have to hide the light sometimes, and you have to have a certain quality of light that is natural and realistic looking. You have to literally recreate the world but make it look better than it actually is, right? You have to recreate moonlight, but moonlight might not be actually strong enough to, you know, shine on a person. So you have to create the quality of moonlight and the effect of moonlight, but make it brighter and more powerful. So cinematography is really an art of getting light to look convincing, but not too fake. So, you know, I enjoy watching videos like that because it's just a little bit more intricate than something like this, right? So we're just gonna flip this on, and you're gonna already sort of see how this one is at 83%. I'll put it at 100. This 100% versus that, I think 14%. Like this is as bright as it's gonna go, and it's not really that much. So it's going to be really hard. I mean, this is all totally blown out for you guys, so you can't really tell. Let's see. Let's dim that. Right? This is at 2% now. You could probably see this green now. Right? 100% versus this one. And there's a really big difference in person. If you can't tell, you guys will see it when I pull up my actual camera. But right now, big difference. So the third and final light is going to be this bad boy that's right in front of you guys, but you can't see it. It's a Nanlite tube light. This is a Pavo tube. I should have put it on that stand, but on this side. So what I'm gonna do is grab another stand that I have back here. Let me see. Can I do it without disrupting anything? I did it. Awesome. So we're gonna set up this light now, which it's a good light. You know, it's good for small projects, I guess. I mean, I really don't use it for anything other than adding color to certain things. It's really not that powerful, so it's not helpful in a lot of situations. I need a lot more power than this to, you know, really do much of anything. Like, this might be able to light up a lamp, you know. The issue is that, like I said, the light isn't strong enough. So when I'm putting it up anywhere, it's being beat out by either the sun or it's being beat out by this light over here. Oh, you guys can't see me. It's being beat out by this light over here. So we're just gonna set this up. We're gonna change the mode to this. And now here's the part. I think it's actually dying in like lifespan, because it's not all green. Do you see that? Some of those are blue. Yeah, like I think it's like actually dying in life. So I might actually need to get a new one. But other than that, it's pretty cool. It's disappointing. I love this thing. But this is a blue backdrop. This blue backdrop, I wonder if I can get this so that you guys can actually see like the color that it's producing. Yeah, you see, like this is like now like green. This blue backdrop now became like green at this point. So we're gonna bring this back to this level. And just for reference, this is 2% still, right? I can blast this, and then these other two lights completely gone. You can't see any of what they're producing at all. Like maybe a slight tint from this one over here, but other than that, like you basically can't even, it's just a blue backdrop now. So we're gonna turn this back down, and we're gonna actually pick our colors that we're gonna use for our production, right? So it's a blue backdrop. We wanna use colors that sort of complement that. which is going to be more blue, just a different type of blue. So first let's raise up this brightness, and then let's change our colors, right? So something like this nice teal color. This nice teal color is going to look really nice on the backdrop. This green, I don't want green. Green is like a really ugly color. I kind of hate green. Even though I have a green backdrop, I hate the color green. But with this one over here, we can choose a couple different ones. Purple, purple's really nice. She's shaking her head, yes, yeah, purple's really nice, right? This blue or this purple is nice too. Yeah. You know, you could go full blue, full teal. In the ocean, exactly. All this looks really nice. So we'll go back to this nice purple over here, like right there, so right? Now mind you, this is at 100%. I'm gonna turn it down just so that I can get a little bit closer to that power output of this one over here. And yeah, like probably like right there. So now we have these two lights. We're gonna back them up like this, and that should be good. Now, if you're noticing on the backdrop as I walk past it, there's a super harsh shadow, right? You see my entire being just on the backdrop. That's because this light has no diffusion on it, or has no diffusion, right? It needs diffusion. It needs a softbox. It needs something to spread the light, and it needs something to make the light softer, right? Because the smaller the light source, the harsher the light. The wider the light source, the softer the light. And the closer the light source, the closer the light source, also the softer the light. So you have to think of it almost like the sun. Imagine this. The sun is right above you, and it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's beaming down on everybody. You get the raccoon eyes, right? Like that's usually what happens. You get the raccoon eyes because the sun is super harsh, super bright, all that good stuff. But when you're sort of like under the trees, or maybe you're inside, when the quality of the light that comes through the window that's not directly coming from the sun, it's almost like this really soft like gradient of light that almost hits your face. It's like this side is lit up and then it sort of just slowly tapers off. That's soft light, and that's because it's being diffused by the window. Maybe it's being diffused by some blinds, or it's being diffused by anything of that sort, right? Some sheets. That's what diffusion is. And the spread of it being a larger window that's closer to you, it makes it soft, right? And it wraps around your face. So that's what we're gonna try to go for right now, is something to wrap around our subject's face. So you guys can't see me right now, but I'm pulling out these things, which are strip boxes. And I'm pulling them out because I'm not gonna use them. I'm going to use this bad boy over here, which is an Octabox. And this is going to be much more useful for me, right? So, oh yeah. This Octabox is what's going to diffuse our light and spread it. This is what's gonna give us a nice soft quality of light, right? If I just leave it exposed like that, or if I use something like a reflector, it's no good. I mean, some people like it. Some people find the quality of light to, you know, be interesting, which it is. It's sort of like a beauty dish. It's interesting, but for, you know, consumption, right? For people consuming content, or for people, you know, consuming movies, it's not good to have all the time, because it almost looks unprofessional. It looks like somebody turned on a light in the house and that's it. So now we're at this part where we have our softbox on our light, and we have our stool over there. So I'm just gonna raise this up a little bit, right? And I'm gonna move you guys so that you guys can see just a little bit better. So now we're at the point where we have our main light that's shining, and then we have these two lights on the background. There's blue shining and purple shining. Now the good thing about this, because you'll see there's sort of hot spots on the backdrop, right? It's not as soft as it could be. And the good thing about that is when you're shooting short form content, it's very narrow, right? It's gonna be vertical. So this little part that I only need to get is just gonna be this part right here. So I only have to make this center part soft. So how do I do that? I kind of shine the edge of the light towards the center, which is going to create that softer quality of light. This tube light is already pretty soft just because the type of light it is. It's a tube light, it's long, and it's not super powerful. But yeah, it's a long light, so there's a larger spread of light on the backdrop. So at this point now, I think what we need to do is just sort of look at the frame and the light and how it's gonna come out on camera. So I'm going to set up the camera. You could actually sit down on the stool if you'd like to. I'm gonna use my A7C Mark II. It's a pretty good camera. I like it. I use it for pretty much everything. 4K 60, it's 10-bit, so you know you could play around with the colors and post and everything. And that's probably the biggest part, is just being able to adjust everything to your liking. We're gonna take this. My tripod is still in your car.
It is still.
It's been in there. You look so beautiful. It's been in there for ages.
Yeah, long.
We're gonna set up everything just so that, you know, we can see what we're actually creating. If this was an actual production day, I already have the camera built out before I even get to the place. We're setting up our camera. Another thing that we would have set up would be audio equipment. We would either boom a mic, we would put a lavalier on the client, or we could have a shotgun mic. I really don't like shotgun mics, like at least having it on the camera, just because the quality of audio is terrible. Because how many people are really going to be 3 feet in front of the microphone? Not many, you know. Typically the client is going to be relatively far away from you. They're going to be at least like, you know, 5 feet away from the camera. So, you know, shotgun mics are really only good for a 3-foot distance. Other than that, the quality of the audio starts to go down. You start to get a little bit more room noise. The voice becomes thin. And I'm sure that you could repair that in post, but you know, it's easier just to get it done in pre-production. I need an ND filter. An ND filter is basically, it's called a ND filter. It's a neutral density filter. It cuts out the light, so it dims everything sort of. It takes this bright scene, and it's almost like sunglasses for your lens, right? So you just put these sunglasses on your lens, and then it sort of just dims everything for you. And it looks like we're a little bit overexposed, so we're just gonna dim everything just a little bit. I'm shooting in S-Log3. S-Log3 is a picture profile that's flat looking, that allows you, when in post, to color grade your footage just that extra bit more. Rather than a standard picture profile or, you know, pretty much anything else, this one allows you to shoot with this flat looking profile and color grade the footage to bring out certain colors. So when I go in post, I'm gonna be able to maybe bring out the blush. Is it the red? Yeah. I'm gonna be able to bring out the blush in her cheeks and bring out the blues or adjust the blues, make this blue from this color to more of a teal blue or a navy blue, and the purple more to a cyan's purple. Magenta, I know that purple, right? I'll be able to make it a little bit more magenta or more pink or whatever it is. So that's why most videographers or professional videographers are going to shoot in a log picture profile. It's because it's going to allow you more room to play with in post, so that if anything is off, you can correct it, such as your white balance. If your white balance is off, you can correct that in post, and that's what we want to be able to do, right? So I'm not sure if I have an SD card here right now. What I'll do is I'll take a quick video for you guys just so you can get an idea of this, right? And typically we would have the camera on a tripod. That would make it a lot easier. So I'm gonna just take a quick video, right? Give a little YouTube intro.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing something, not sure what.
Absolutely smashing. So that's it, right? That's the lighting setup for content production, for YouTube, for Instagram, for TikTok, for whatever it is. Now, there are so many different things that we could do different. I get excited when I speak. Maybe I should get into the light too.
Yeah.
There are so many different things that we can do different, right? We could adjust the light. We could raise it up, which is going to create more shadows under her chin. But that's something that I like for my personal self, is I like to have the light really high up and sort of shine down on me. Not to the point where I'm getting raccoon eyes, but to the point where I'm creating a shadow under my jaw. And then I'm able to have a little bit more of a defined jaw in my videos. Or sometimes even I'll add an additional light, a hair light, which probably goes like up here, and then you shine it down on your hair and it's able to separate you from the background, and it's also able to shine a little bit on like your jaw area too. That's going to be able to sort of define certain areas of you that you want, accentuated and everything. So there are so many different lighting setups that you could do. You could do sort of a loop lighting with this light. You could do split lighting. You could do Rembrandt lighting. You could do clamshell if you have another light down below. These are all more so photography techniques, but we also use it in cinematography and videography. Now with this, there's really nothing else that I would change because this is a really interesting look. This is really beautiful, actually. Like this whole entire thing right there is super beautiful. So it works really well. Certain things that I do notice though is like there's a little bit of light spill coming onto her skin, like just around the edges. And some people don't mind it. Sometimes I mind it. Sometimes I don't mind it. Obviously, the color is coming from somewhere, so you can't, sometimes you can't do anything about it. But ways that you can sort of reduce it or cut down on it would be to shine your light a little bit less from your subject. Now, there's only so much that you can do, or else you're not going to be shining the light at your actual backdrop. And also, this light is bouncing off anyways. So it's bouncing off onto this side of her face. So you might as well just kind of have it. A way that you could sort of cut down on it is put diffusion on these backlights. So you could put a softbox on here, which I could do, and I could move it this way, and that would work as well. As you can see, like if I move the light closer, that works too. It just becomes a little bit more directional that way. And that's not what we want, because we want it to sort of have a spread to it. We could even shine this down a little bit more, but we want it to have a nice spread to the backdrop. We don't want it to be too directional, or else it just sort of looks a little bit funky. Same thing with this one. You want to back this up a little bit so that it's not too directional. Now, she might have a little bit of spill on her, but it still looks pretty dang good in my opinion. But I think that's pretty much it. Let me shine the light on me for a second. I think that's pretty much it on a lighting breakdown for content production, for YouTube videos, for Instagram videos, for your VSLs if you're sending to clients, for your courses that you create for clients. Anything to do with content creation for your social medias, for getting business. This is pretty much my go-to setup when I'm shooting in studio, and it's pretty similar when I'm actually on location. I still bring this bad boy, and I still bring at least one or two of those lights so that we could just add a little bit of flavor to the scene that we're shooting. So if you are interested in booking a shoot or doing any type of content creation for you or your business, don't be shy. I'm based in Long Island, but I do operate in the 5 boroughs, and I do travel for certain shoots. So if you're in the surrounding states, if you're in Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, let me know. I'm always able to shoot a dope promo, fun content, engaging content, all your courses, everything that you possibly could need for content creation. I'm your guy for it. So if you're looking for ways to reach out to me, feel free to hit me up on Instagram. It's at karma_photos with 2 S's at the end. Or you can hit me up by email and it's Nile at Karma period photos. My website is Karma period photos. Everything is Karma period photos. So if you're looking for me, you can reach out to me those ways, book a consultation, hit me up on Instagram in the DMs, everything. I appreciate anybody that watched. Thank you very much.